Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 2 of the Age of Engineering. Checking out some mining at the moment. I've gone into that mining world that we have. I don't know that there's an easy way, probably not yet at least, to automatically teleport between the two locations, but I did just run out of picks. I made myself many a pick for this mining expedition, and I just ran out, so that's cool. Let's make a few more. That should be good. We can probably put you here and you guys there. How's that look? Pretty close to awesome. What can I get rid of at the moment? Probably just any more cobble. I want to collect more iron. So I've basically been mining this whole time. That's what I've been doing. I checked. We don't have iron backpacks in the pack, but we do have forestry backpacks. So that might be a thing to consider later. Silver. I did find gold. And you know what else I found out about gold? Something that's actually a little bit rough. Gold requires a diamond pickaxe. How cool is that? Answer not very. So I found some ruby ore from Tech Reborn. Requires a diamond pick. And I think the gold ore was in this general direction-ish. So there's my ladder out. I've actually found a decent amount of coal down here, which is cool by me. I'm very excited about that. This is my nice little tunnel that leads out. I kind of found this big open area down around Y level 15, which is perfect. Here's the gold I found. See, you can see on the left there it says gold ore requires a diamond tier pickaxe. So that's cool. Not. Remember, kids, when you're down at the bottom of the earth, don't dig straight down. Like I did. I like to live dangerously. Ores, ores, and more ores. As you can tell, I've kind of filled up my inventory, so we're going to be heading back up soon, but I just kind of wanted you guys to see some of the stuff that I've found underground, ore-wise, because I've actually found a good amount of iron. That's neat. What's this stuff? Is that osmium from Mechanism? No idea what that's used for. I'm being totally honest. Osmium ore, no clue. If it's going to be useful for me before we get into Mechanism, it very well may not. It may turn out that it's like completely worthless. I don't know. But the other really important thing that I found, check this out. Wah, wah, wah. All the hype. Lava. I don't know how big this lava lake is, but if you look on our mini-map, you can see there's actually quite a few of them here. So this one may not be particularly large, but there are some larger ones nearby. That's going to be cool for me. We're going to want to see what kind of tanks I can make. I'm assuming fluid tanks from... Okay, so that recipe does not look changed. So that'll be cool. Once we can smelt iron, we should be really good with that. There's also tanks from Mechanism, basic fluid tank, which is, again, iron and redstone. Don't know enough about it to say whether or not I want to use it. And then there's Neotech basic fluid tanks, also needs iron. So most tanks need iron, unless we grab the seared tank, which I believe we can. Retains liquid when broken, correct. So that's also an option for coming down here and getting a bunch of lava. Of course, the initial problem being that we can only grab one bucket anyway via clay. So let's do this. As you can see, I hadn't yet figured out that I needed that extra block, so this is my first time jumping out of here. So here's my mining age. You guys can see what it looks like as I slowly but surely jump out of this mining tunnel. I have a feeling I'm going to go up and down this tunnel quite a few times, so maybe I'll get into some kind of stairs or something like that. We'll see. Oh, but decent amount of stuff down here. This is limestone from Chisel. Okay, I was just curious. This is marble? No, alabaster from Environmental Tech. Actually kind of nice. Not sure how rare it is, but I know you need it for some of the environmental tech stuff. Even found Certus quartz. I believe Applied Energistics is probably somewhere down the line. ME controller, inscriber. I don't know when we get the inscriber presses, but we'll see. But hey, that's a thing. Cool. I haven't made it look nice. Dyer with the fancies. Cool. All right, eating. Looks like it became nighttime while I was gone. I want to test chunk loading at some point. I definitely want to test that to make sure that chunk loading works. So I guess the next thing we really need is to make a smeltery. Like, that's priority one-ish. So let's put away all our ores and ingots and stuff that we got. Actually, ores don't go in here. Gems and dusts go in there. So ores can go here. You can get these guys. You can get this. And that seems pretty organized, yeah? Not terrible. Okay. Let's sleep through the night. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab a bunch of sand and clay and gravel and hopefully get enough of that stuff. We have some decent amounts. So you can tell I was actually gone for a long time. So the fact that all these items are still sitting up here tells me the area here isn't chunk loaded, which I wouldn't expect it to be because I didn't chunk load it. But here's a question. Can I go into claimed chunks? You must be in a team to do that. What? What? Teams GUI? Dial 20 team. Cool. Okay. So that's neat if I want to chunk load my... Oh, explosions disabled. That's cool. Chunk loaded. Okay, so I guess we'll find out if chunk loading works. Now remember over here I said I found clay. Yeah, and sand. That's cool. Also, by the way, I took a look at what would be involved in getting a hammer from Tinkers. Probably a little ways off. Any of the tier 2 Tinker stuff you need a tool forge for, remember? So in order to get a tool forge, we're going to need dense steel plates, which is steel plates in a compressor. Cool. So I wouldn't count on a tool forge anytime super soon. But maybe I can get a little lucky. There is also the actually additions drill. I'm out of curiosity how hard that would be to get. That looks like the standard recipe. Cool. And then that looks like the standard recipe, and that looks like the standard recipe. So we could get a 3x3 and a 5x5 drill without too much difficulty. I mean, I'm not saying, like, let's go do it now, but, I mean, actually additions was the third tier, right? After... So 0 is stone, 1 is IC2, and 2 is calculator mod, which I've never played with really, so yeah, don't expect me to know that mod too much, is pretty much spoiler alert that I'm telling you guys. But we're going to learn it, that's for sure. How hard could it be? He said innocently. Actually a decent amount of play here, which is good. It's at this point that I vaguely miss Vein Miner. Not that I had it in my Let's Play series either, but I also had easier access to, you know, hammers and excavators and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is like a stack and a half of clay, which feels like pretty close to enough. So grout is what we need. So that seems totally reasonable, right? So that should be 3 stacks of grout. I think that should be cool. Okay, so that's good. We'll probably need... So we have a stack and a half of each of those. If I had a stack and a half of gravel, I'd be quite pleased. And we found a decent amount of gravel off in this-ish direction. You can kind of see it on the mini-map. I'm assuming that there's more over there. More sand. A little bit of gravel. I was looking for like a large... That's all stone. It's okay. There's some gravel here. Cool. So how about we do this? I'm going to dig up a bunch of gravel here, and we'll be back in a minute to make some gravel. Andesite looks too much like gravel from a distance. Alright. With any luck, that is a stack and a half of gravel. Nice. Hey, what's that bluish tree down there? That looks cool. I just didn't notice that before. I don't know what it is. And I would like to know more. I'm just gonna go, I don't want to chop it down because I don't know if it's something fancy or important because it looks rare. It is a mineral log from Integrated Dynamics. Cool. Mineral tree. Integrated Dynamics. Another mod that's kind of been on my radar that I've not really had a lot of time or opportunity to take a look at. So I'm excited about the fact that there's a handful of mods going on here that I've never looked at or played with before, and I'm excited to try out. So let's get a couple more furnaces. All right, and what I'm gonna do is check to see. Nice, tiny coal exists. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. I like that a lot. Tiny coal is my favorite. Love tiny coal because it means nobody yells at me for wasting smelting opportunities like wood. So let's make grout. Also, I was looking to see if the lasso recipe changed because I was killing cows and I'm like, is this gonna, you know, am I gonna regret killing cows at some point? The answer is no. Recipe has not changed. So that's cool. So 3 stacks of grout. So here's what I'm gonna do. I want to check this. So let's open up U. Let's make sure that these chunks are claimed and chunk loaded. And then 1.5 are smelted. We're gonna go through here. I'm gonna come back in 5 minutes and we'll see what's up. So good news, I was gone for a couple minutes, I came back, it seared 14 bricks. So that tells me that chunk loading is working, which means yay. So I'll be back when this is all fully cooked up. So while waiting for that smelting, I decided to go do some mining, which is probably smart. I don't know, I assume it's smart. Feels smart. Yeah, mining is good. Didn't get too much, but enough time has passed that I'm going to go ahead and assume that the smelting of that stuff is done. And I can eat some more cow. Delicious. To do stairs. We're also going to need clay for a bucket. I think we'll need some clay for casts. Or I could use aluminum brass. I don't know. I don't know if I found aluminum yet. Have I? Have I found? I don't think I've found any aluminum or bauxite. I don't know which one will exist. But I guess we'll see. So what? Oh, it's raining, so that's a thing. So organizing inventory. Okay. So in terms of metals, I've found lead, iron, silver, osmium, copper, and tin. Cool. So totally haven't found aluminum. And aluminum brass is a combination of aluminum and what? Copper, as I think it is? Yeah, copper and aluminum. So I haven't found any aluminum yet, but we'll hopefully get there. How are you guys doing? Super close to being done. Awesome. Glad to see it. Good job. Cool. I love tiny coal. It's the greatest thing ever. So shall we make a smeltery? I say we shall. So first things first, I'm going to need some U. You know what else I'm going to need is sand. Sand, 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 sand. We're going to need some glass. Boom. So that's cool. So we want the smeltery controller. We're going to want a smeltery drain. We're going to want a couple of U. We're going to need a bunch of smeltery brick. And that should be enough to get the ball rolling. What's up? Whoa, nasty looking skeleton. Should have made a shield. Take that. Another to-do list item, shield. Will I make one ever? We'll find out. We're gonna want a tank. So that, and we're gonna want one of you. And we already know that we're gonna want one of you. So let's get another drain. And another faucet. Does that sound cool? And that leaves us a few seared bricks to kind of be cool. Good deal. So let's do like the standard 3x3 design. Cool. And we'll put our controller here and our tank here. And these guys can actually probably be drains. Cool. You with your faucets. And you are valid? Nice. That is cool. And we literally have just enough brick to bring this up one more level. Perfect. That's cool. Alright. So now we're going to need more clay. So let's go find some more of that. I know where there is some, so we're just going to go run to it. How are you guys doing? You're doing a good job over here, Rice and Flax. Neat. Whatever mod lets you right-click things to pick them up is totally working. Industrial hemp usually needs to be broken. It's fine. Because I'm good on food, I'm just going to plant a little bit more wheat. Now, do I want to break just the top one? And then the rest will regrow? I always kind of forget that. I want to say that's how it works. We'll find out. If it regrows, it regrows. If it doesn't, well, we learned something. Alright. More clay, please. Just a bit. Enough to make a bucket and maybe some casts. And we're going to want some aluminum. So I might... What I'm thinking I'm going to do... I'm going to definitely head to that mining age. I'm going to look at our stuff to figure out where aluminum might spawn. You always need squid ink oil for something, right? Salt block from Mechanism, huh? Neat. So that's a good enough bit of resource gathering. We'll make some clay buckets. Remember, clay buckets can only transfer... They can transfer as much water as you want, but lava's a one-time use, right? It'll burn up the bucket when you use it. So... Cool. Direwolf 20's team. Wilderness. Direwolf 20's team. Alright, going away. These things... I'm going to grab 2 buckets of lava while I'm down there. And I better hang on to the other stuff, only because we're probably going to want it. I never placed you, but that's okay. The actual additions book can go away. You can get cooked up, because you are food. That works for me for now. So, 2 buckets. Can't hurt. And because of tiny coal, that's easy. Another to-do list item from me. I'm going to flatten this terrain a little bit more. Do we have builder's wands in this pack? We totally do. Awesome. And the recipes are vanilla recipes. Perfect. And by vanilla recipes, I don't mean it's a vanilla item. I know that builder's wands are not vanilla. By vanilla recipes, I mean they were unchanged by the pack creator of this pack. Yeah, I guess I'll do this one more line. That looks good. So you're done. We can go get some lava. I would like to get some aluminum, because we're going to need... Shift to travel. We are going to need an ingot cast, at the very least. We could always block form any metals that we melt. But finding aluminum would be nice. Or aluminium, as it may be called. So aluminum ingots. Can you be cast? Molten aluminum. Aluminum brass. molten aluminum, aluminum ingots from libvolps, or aluminum ore is what I'm looking for. Or bauxite ore. So aluminum ore, bauxite, no, it's mercury. Apatite. Bauxite ore tends to be in the overworld around that Y-ish level. Like in the 20s and 30s seems to be where it tends to be greatest. So that's fine. So 20s and 30s is where you're going to find bauxite. That's probably what we're looking for, so let's do it. So I'm going to get my lava first. And I'm going to spend a few minutes mining right here around Y level 23, because why not? And we'll be right back. What have I found here? Bauxite ore. Nice. It requires diamond. Whoa! Why you break so easy if you require diamond, buddy? Well, that's not cool. So if I can't get bauxite ore yet, I suspect what I'll have to do is get something that's capable of breaking diamond and go from there. Got black quartz ore, which is neat, but man, that's annoying. It broke so easily. I was like, oh, cool, I got it. Nice. It didn't even occur to me that bauxite would require a diamond to your cutting tool. Like, that's shenanigans. So if not bauxite, then what? For aluminum. Question of the day. I don't know if bronze is a diamond level tool. I'll have to check. Bronze was kind of what I was planning to do my tool thing from. Aluminum. So there's tantalum ore. I don't know what that does. It makes powdered tantalum, of course. Tantalum ingots make tantalum blocks and tantalum bars. And tantalum shields. Like, come on, what's tantalum? I don't even know. Alright, so you need a diamond pick. Well, that's awful. Also, I ran out of torches while I was mining. So until I found more coal, I was out of luck. So I found bauxite, but I can't do anything with it because I don't have a proper pick. So let's go home and I can at least make a better set of tools and stop using... Because I can make bronze from like tool heads. I just can't make ingots yet. I mean, I can make ingots, but just one at a time. Or I can make blocks. I assume block casting will work. So if I wanted to like throw a bunch of iron in there and just pour it into a block mold, I should be fine. But I really wanted to have like an ingot cast, courtesy of aluminum bronze or aluminum brass or whatever it is. And that shift into the portal thing is kind of neat, by the way. Oh good, it's nighttime. Sleeping. Alright, so we've got our stuff and we've got our things. So let's put away our ores that we picked up while we were down there. And let's put away you. Just organizing inventory. Inventory management, my friends. Brutal, but necessary. Alright, so what we can do... Nice. And I'm assuming block casting will work. I'm hoping block casting will work. So let's get 8 clay in there, and let's get some bronze weapons. So let's see. Materials and you. Tool materials. There's lots of them. So if I wanted to get iron, has a mining level of diamond. So that's good at least. Now that has a mining speed of 6, and it has the magnetic, which attracts items to you a little bit. Kind of fancy. If I wanted to do... Night slime's always kind of cool. But that requires some complexity that I don't think we have yet. Slimes are nice. Magma slime, netherrack, ardite and cobalt, and manulin. Copper. Copper has a mining speed of 5.3, but you get extra experience from it. Bronze has a mining speed of 6.8, a little bit faster than iron. Your tool lasts longer when it has less durability. That's kind of cool too. Bronze is usually what I've found to be like a good mid-tier mining head. Mining speed on lead is a little bit slow. Silver's mining speed is slow. Electro's mining speed is fast. That could be cool. Running around charges your tool. Hitting an enemy discharges it. Well, that's neat. So, but the durability on the head is only 50. Whereas the durability for bronze is 430. So Electrum's fast, but it has low durability, so that's a downside. Steel, I don't think we're at the point where we could do that yet. Treated wood, by the way, has a nifty little bit of ability. Mining speed is really slow on demonic. And that's about it. So bronze, I think, is going to be it, right? So I'm assuming that I can do bronze. Somehow, some way. Molten bronze. 1 tin to 3 copper. Good, the recipe is the same. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and 1. So we have inventory tweaks. So why can't I mouse wheel? Oh, check it out later. So you should have made your clay. These guys will make my tools. So next things next. Let's go ahead and eat. And also make the tinker's stuff that we need to make. So for that, we're basically going to want to do this. And then we're going to want one of you. One of you. One of you. One of these. And while I'm at it, another one of these. Cool. And that'll be the Tinker's tool line that we want to access, right? So crafting station first. I usually go stencil table next, followed by part builder, followed by pattern chest. Not tool station. Part builder, pattern chest. Cool. Beans. So everybody should be accessible now. So I should be able to hit my tool station, stencil table. Awesome. So if I want to make a pickaxe, for example, I'm going to need a tool binding, and I'm going to need a tool rod. Neat. Now, how's bronze for a tool binding? I think it's actually pretty decent. Gives you an extra 80 durability. Other tool binding options. Copper gives you free experience, which is kind of cool. I want my tool binding out of copper. Just remember, everything that we do that's a liquid metal deal is going to cost me some clay. But that's okay, because clay is not a big deal. So let's throw some copper in there. So you should have made a bunch of bronze. Beautiful. Bunch of clay. So let's get... we'll do a wooden... Actually, I think if I do that, no. Material value 1. So that guy, we'll do a copper binding. I'm going to put these guys in here so that I can do this. So copper binding means we're going to need wood one, a stone one. And we'll need a stone pickaxe head as well. Cool. And then let's make sure clay is at the bottom here. Poof. Nice. So for the binding, we want copper. Beautiful. And then for the pickaxe head, we're going to want bronze. That'll do. Now let's throw a bunch of iron in there and see if we can't get some good stuff going on. But this should now be combinable in this form. Tool rod, copper binding, this, dire pick 01. Nice. And he's got mining level diamond, which means we can now go get our aluminum, which is cool. And it also means we can get rid of those extra pickaxes that we've been holding onto our inventory with. So you can go away. Beautiful. And I'll probably want to make some bronze shovels. So let's get, now I believe a shovel also needs a binding. So we got 2 blocks of iron. Are you going to pour into here and make a block of iron? Because that would be super cool. That would be super cool of you to do. So let's get another one of you. And let's get a shovel head. And while we're at it, let's get an axe head pattern. Right? And we can get a shovel head and an axe head. Now, does the axe need a binding? It totally does. But if I'm going to get an axe, I might as well get a mattock. So I'll probably do that. So let's get another set of bronze, if we may. Cool. So I'm going to want another shovel head pattern. And that should be cool. So you are going to be copper. So I'll hold off on that for a sec. Also, that totally worked, which is exciting to me, right? Nice. We've got iron, guys. We've got iron. Nice. So clay. And then bronze. Clay. How are we doing for clay? Running out of clay. And then another bronze. Copper's done. So as soon as we get clay, we'll be able to do this guy. There we go. And copper. Never catch me, copper. And then this dude with clay and bronze. Nice. And then we're going to want to get our iron poured out again. Cool. So now I should be able to combine, we'll want probably 2 more sticks. So we'll want a shovel. Though you're an axe and a hoe, so we don't want, yeah, so we want you to be the shovel. And we want that. Nice. So that should be really cool. And I wouldn't mind a weapon, but we'll hold off on that for now. So we've got a little bit of clay left. We've got iron. That is really nice. I think I'm going to hold off. So we need machines if we want to ore double, right? So I think what this means is cooking ingots in the smeltery is a bad idea until we get to a sufficient point of technological progress. But what I can do is make a tank. A fluid tank. At least one for now. And this can be used to go get lava. And because I've got an iron bucket now, we should be exceptionally well off with regards to lava. So I'll put this in here, I guess, for now. You guys can go in here with this dude. And that's good enough for me for now. Let's go get some lava. And then we'll probably wrap up the episode here in a minute. Cool. So, because we're getting pretty close to wrapping up point, and we've made some great progress today. I think all we have to do now is get a coke oven, which is going to require a decent amount of lava. Because remember, it's a bucket of lava. We're going to need like 14 buckets of lava, right? Cast as such. So we're basically going to want to fill this thing up. This thing can hold 16, right? Yeah. That's 14 buckets worth. Like I said, not entirely sure how far this goes, but That'll do. So you've got 16 millibuckets of lava in you. Nice. Let's also... Was this bauxite here? It is. Which I can totally mine now because diamond level pickaxe. Cool. Which means I can get aluminum brass. So that bauxite equals aluminum brass. There's one more piece deep down back here. But hey, at least we're mining faster than we were with this stone shovel and pick. That is awesome. I had a feeling there'd be another one hiding. Oh, even more. And here I'm getting experience for mining stone. That's because I made my tool binding out of copper. Ooh, I can get gold now too. That's cool. I know there's some more gold too. So we now have access to gold as well. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome progress today, guys. All right, does that mean we can mine this ruby ore? I don't know what it does. Rubies can be used for tools, I presume? Yeah, I don't know like how it compares red garnet, huh? Neat. Makes a block of red garnet that's missing a texture. Red garnet dust, industrial centrifuge. Neat. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually, because that's what this pack is about for me. Partially checking out new mods that I've never checked out before, which is honestly a request that I get semi-often from you guys, the viewers. So there's that other gold. I knew there was some more down here that I hadn't found, but couldn't mine yet. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head upstairs. I'm gonna start, I guess, next episode, we'll work towards a coke oven. And once we've got the coke oven, we are officially good to go to make the hammer. And we can start on the industrial craft. And that will be a new tier of technology for us. So for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time to continue to have fun with Age of Engineering. So far, very much enjoyable pack. This is a very cool pack thus far, because I'm having a lot of fun checking out new mods. And, I mean, obviously I've only played with Tinkers for the most part, but I'm excited to be able to check out new mods and other things. All right, guys, for now, you know what it is. Take it easy.